You've just opened the soup can. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the many flavors we offer as we ask Soup No O. Hello and welcome to the Soup Can. I'm your host Campbell's, and I'm here to ask the burning question, Soup No O. With me in studio today is a longtime friend of mine, Jeffrey Mullins. Jeffrey, I'll bounce back and forth. How the hell have you been? It's been a few years.
I know,
man.
bro. I know. It's been a while. Yeah, no, I've been good, man. I've been really good.
I mean, your social media shows you've been busy.
Yeah.
We'll touch on all that, but man, it's great to see you back.
Dude,
in Michigan,
it's great to see you too.
Man.
Like I said, like when we first walked in here, I was like, man, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Probably like since I was a kid. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, well, man, let's see. Because we met, for those listening, we met in the Masonic world in the youth organization called D-Malay.
Yeah.
Like some of my other guests I've had on. It's a wide range of people from all walks of life that come together. Jeff is one that I met as I was a senior D-Malay, and you were going through with my cousin.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, good old Josh. Love your cousin.
Good old Josh. No,
I don't know what he's up to, but
I actually took him out like a month ago.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought that was so old.
No, that was like a few months ago, man. Yeah, we took him out to the bar and we had fun because Ben.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I know I should have. I don't know what I was thinking, but was it not Ben, but his brother Jeremy Bridgman?
Bridgman, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Navy.
Okay.
So anyways, he actually ended up coming home, so we all ended up meeting up and going out. So yeah.
Very cool.
But it was a good time. No, Josh is a character.
Still a character, man.
He's still a character, man. He's still a character.
Just get him on to just talk.
Yeah,
He's
easily.
had like 42 jobs in a month.
I know. No, man. It's
but like I said, I love you because you're a character, and that's what makes you great.
Yeah. Shout out Josh Lampard.
But our friendship goes back. I mean, I was, like you said, I was an active D-Malay, and you were going through. I don't know, how far did you get in D-Malay? Did you become...
Yeah, I was a master counselor.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was phasing myself out a little bit.
Yeah.
But.
I think it was like in 2014 or no, it was maybe earlier than that. But
man, that long ago already?
Yeah.
Man, you're getting old.
Yeah, don't say
I think
that,
my back just went out.
I'm 26, bro. I'm like, man, I'm creeping up on 30. I'm like, bro, what the heck? But it's all good.
Getting up there, man. Everything just start falling apart.
I know, man. But you got to stay up, man. You got to stay on top of your health. You
got to, and that's why I brought you on. I saw that you were posting that you were starting.
Yeah.
A huge endeavor, a Colossus endeavor, if you will. You're going to start your own gym, and I want to hear all about that. But let's get a little bit more background on what you did during D-Malay. Like, you moved down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You said you went to college down there.
Yeah.
What college did you go to, and what did you pursue?
So a little bit back, besides, back it up a little bit.
Okay.
So there was a lot of grinding just to even get to that point. What I mean? Like, my family does not come from, money, and my mom and dad did the whole Parent Plus loan, my older brother, and that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they could not send me to college because how expensive it was for my older brother. You know what I mean? We're 4 years apart, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where, he went through it and graduated and all that, and then it was my turn. It was like...
Because by the time he graduated, it's your turn.
Yeah, it was like, son, unfortunately, we can't, really take out too many loans because, you know what I mean? It's, it's all tied up with your brother and, getting all that.
Now, did you go out of state too? Is that why it was partially so expensive?
Yeah.
College is expensive regardless.
100%. But, that's the thing, man, because, me and my best friends, we were all going to go off to the military and do the buddy programs, all that stuff. But, that just, it didn't work out, so, I didn't want to, I didn't pursue it. You know what I mean? So I didn't pursue it. And so anyways, I got a job at Galco. Electrical, plant, you know what I mean? Stuff, whatever. And it's we just send all types of electrical equipment out to, our customers. And that job was not that great.
It was just paying the bills,
no, man, I'm being serious. No, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I was so frugal, bro. I did not spend money on anything. Even when I went to work and I was on lunch, I wouldn't go to McDonald's. Because in my mind I'm hey, I want to go to this film school in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over here like, man, I don't have money to pay for it. My parents are like, hey, like we can't send you. You just stay home. Go to Macomb. So I was like, all right. I took a couple classes at Macomb. And I was just grinding. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm transferring. I'm going down to Florida.
You take whatever credits, transfer.
Yeah.
We've all been to 12 Mile High.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. But, like, again, my parents couldn't send me. And they're like, you know, and that's the thing where it's like, I have this personality where it's like, look, whatever I put my mind to, I'm going after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Regardless. So, like I said, my parents couldn't send me, so I'm like, okay, hey, I gotta get a part-time job. I was driving like what was it? I think it was like a 1999 Ford Contour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was
back in my day, we called those a hoopty.
Dude, yeah, I was man, oh my goodness. And dude, it was so funny because, like, dude, I did not want to spend money on anything. And the car was going. Like, there was so many problems, and I'm like, man, I don't want to put money in this. I need to go, like, take myself down to Florida. So anyways, I worked this job, and I did not spend a dime. I just kept saving my money. Then I was, like, researching. Then I got, like, accepted, and then once I graduated, like, I only did one semester of credits at Macomb. And then after that, I was like, look, hey, like, I got my money together. I found an apartment, found roommates down there. And everything just kind of like got everything ready, like, together, and I was like, all right, I'm doing this. And I packed up my room, like, all that stuff. My parents were like, you're not going to Florida. You know what I mean? Like, they're still in the back of their head.
Yeah.
They still think that I was not going to go. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't afford it.
I mean,
but the thing is that I put everything, like, in my name. Like, nothing was in my parents.
Okay.
Everything was in my name. Like, my loans, everything. I even got, like a grant or something like that, and I used a little bit of it, like, when I got down there, because, dude, I was so broke. My family was, like, sending food, like, in boxes.
Ramen noodles
No, I'm being serious. Like, ramen noodles, man. I was eating, like butter with, like, and toast, man. I'm being serious. And the worst part, so back it up real quick. So, anyways, like, so my parents didn't think that I was gonna go down to Florida. Like, still, I mean, my room was packed, like, bed frame, everything, packed in tubs and totes, and I'm like, I'm going, like, and then it came to I was told them, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving this weekend to Florida, and they're like, wait, what? Like, no, literally, I was like, because I mean, I was spending so much time, like, every single day, like, I was out in the kitchen. Like, the dining room, and I was just, you know, finding roommates, and there was, like, a few classes online that I was already going to school there, and I was taking a couple classes online, but I was like, I'm going to transfer over and do, you know, on campus, you know, and, so anyways, like I said, I quit Galco. I was like, screw that job, like, that job was the absolute worst.
It did what you needed it to do.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. I mean, it was a low-paying job, but that low, like, amount of money that I collected, let's just say it got me a van. I couldn't put a van in my name because I was, you know, only like, you know, 18, 19 at the time or whatever. You had to be like over 21.
Well, yeah, because to put the loans in your name, you'd have to be 18 or older.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think I was like 18, 19 or whatever. I couldn't get a U-Haul or anything. So I had my parents, my mom, like, I gave her the money. She got me a van, like a Dodge, like, nice, you know, like, or I think it was not a Dodge or whatever, but it was like some like town century or
like
something
a town
like that.
Country or something?
Yeah, country or something like that. I forget what it was, but anyways, I loaded all my stuff in there. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving, like, you know, and I was like, well, do any of you guys want to drive with me, you know, for the drive? And he's like, my parents both took off work. I think it was like on a Friday. My parents like took off work, and we drove down, unloaded everything, and my parents, like, started bawling. Like, dude, like, they were crying. Once I got everything situated in my room, like, we went to Target. And, dude, I didn't have a car down there. Like, notice this, man. Like, I got my stuff, and I moved into my apartment. I got my key and everything. But, dude, I don't have a car down there. You know what I mean? So I was taking the Nike Express, like, everywhere I went. Like, dude, that was something That's of itself, awesome. Man. Can you, like, dude, there was times where I was going, like, to go grocery shopping, man, and I had like I took my skateboard and I took my best friend's longboard with me because he was off in the military. I'm like, well, he ain't gonna use it. I might as well take it down to Florida with me. You know what I mean? But it was so funny though because when I posted a picture of my bro's longboard, and he's like, yo, Jeff, is my longboard in Florida? I was like, yeah, bro, it's getting me from point A to point
but
B.
You're in Africa.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, like, you're not gonna need need it. And he's like, all right, well, when I come home, I'm taking it. I'm like, yeah, no worries. It's still in Florida, but no worries.
That's freaking hilarious.
But yeah, so anyways, like going back to the story. So I got moved in. My parents started bawling. They're like, holy crap, like, can't believe you did this. Like, we're proud of you. Everything's in your name. You know, you didn't need no help. You know, you didn't use any help besides my parents driving me down there. But yeah, so...
I mean, it's great to see that your parents supported you
yeah.
to further your education, but it's great to see, you know, what I take away from that story, besides the laughs, is
yeah.
you didn't let it discourage you.
No.
Your parents just flat out said, we can't send you to college, and you're like, but I want to go.
Exactly.
You know?
So it's either like, okay, well, I got to figure out, you know, okay, the problem is they can't send me down there, so... All right, find a solution. Okay, well, how am I going to pay for it? Get a part-time job.
That's really great, and that's a great thing to take away from that story for everyone listening. You know, don't let someone else take away your dream.
Exactly.
You know, if you have that dream, pursue it.
Exactly.
You know, find a way, ask for help, find other means. That's great that you.
Yeah,
and that's it. Found a way to get down there, man.
And that's crucial in life because, like, man, like, there's been so many moments where, like, that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you're just gonna have to just rely on yourself to figure it out and get it done. And I mean, like, I had such a passion for filmmaking, and it started my senior year in high school. And I was like, look, this is something that I want to do. And then, while I was in college, and I was like working on these sets, and I mean, shoot, like, there was like WWE, there was like, I met Rob Schneider.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because he was filming. Well, so he was in the process of wanting to film Real Rob. It was on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen it come on.
Yeah, so he was at my college. I went to Full Sail University. It's like a film. It's a film school.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Like entertainment. All entertainment jobs. And then so like, I mean, dude, like, this, the amount of people that I met was just great, but. Like I said, man, like, I was walking everywhere, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Like it, right? Yeah. That term in a long time.
And, like, dude, there was times where, like, dude, money was running so, like, it was running low, and I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to college now full-time, I'm on campus, and I'm like, well, I got to, like, make month's rent, like, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, like, to ask you, you worked a crap job here to
get and I'm like, well, what am I going to do in Florida?
What kind of crap jobs, if any, did you work when you were going to college?
So I started going to this gym called UFit Health Clubs, right?
Okay.
And so I was like, well, hey, like, I want to get a job here. And they're like, well, we're fully staffed here, but there's like 2 locations. There's downtown Orlando, which was far, man. Like, if you were going to take the bus, that's like an hour bus ride down to Orlando just because I was living in Winter Park, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And so, and then there was like Altamont Springs or something like that was like the other gym. So I had my interview at Altamont Springs. It was like near like UCF, like University of Central Florida. Yeah. So anyways, I went there. She loved my interview, but she didn't like the fact that I took the bus from point A to point B because she thought it was not going to be reliable.
Unreliable.
Yeah. So transportation. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know, what the heck? So then I called down to Orlando, and I was like, well, it's farther, but I mean, I got to do what I got to do. I got to try to find a job in a gym because, I mean, I like to work out, and it kind of like works. And I know that their gyms are like flexible, you know, with like going to school and stuff like that. So So anyways, I had that interview, and I did great in the interview, and then the same question came up. Well, you take the bus, you know, stuff like that, and I'm like, man, what the heck? So anyways, I went home, and I'm like thinking wasn't gonna get the job, and then my manager Ariel calls me, and he's like, hey, like, he's like, you know, when can you start? And I was like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, this is Ariel from where? He's like, yeah, UFit Health Clubs in Orlando, and I was like, oh, okay, awesome. I'm like, hey, I can start tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you needed month's rent.
Yeah. And, dude, taking public transportation was something else. Like, I was paying, like, because you have to, like, take, I mean, dollars or, like, coins, you know? Like, and then that was just getting pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie, I was broke college student, and that was expensive. So
your parents are sending you ramen noodles.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. I don't know how I made it happen still to this day, because I'm thinking back on it, I'm like, what I went through was crazy. You know what I mean? But especially with going to school full time. But then anyways, I like went to like Central Station or whatever, and I learned because you know of everyone taking the bus or whatever, like you know. And they're like, hey, the bus pass is cheaper. You can get it for a month, and you can use it all month. as many rides as you want.
Flat rate.
Yeah,
use it as many times you want.
And it was like $48. $48 to me at that time was like soup. That was expensive as hell. Like I couldn't even afford $48 for a goddamn bus pass sometimes.
Couldn't afford groceries.
No, 100%. Like, oh my gosh, I remember like going to Target and like having like a calculator, and I'm like going through, and I'm like, once it hits like, you know, $25, I'm like, well, I gotta stop buying groceries, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I was, you know what I mean? And like my parents were like, they would be, you know, they would obviously try to like send money or whatever, but again, like, I mean, shoot, like with rent and college and everything like that being in my name, like I took on the whole entire burden on myself.
At such a young age.
Yeah, 18, you know what I mean? 18, 19 years old. So I'm like, what the heck? But I still made it work. And,
you can't even drink to help get through this.
No, exactly, man. I couldn't, luckily at that time, like, you can still, like, buy, like, cigarettes and whatnot, but, like, hookah and stuff. There's, like, hookah lounges that I could go to. But, I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, but, you know what I mean? But yeah, so anyways, yeah, so Florida was great. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, and then...
so how long was the college program down there? Was it a full 4 years? Or
No.
Was it like
Well, so, and it was so funny, too, going back to my credits at Macomb. So anyways, I took my credits, right? And I thought they were going to transfer, because I was working with both representatives, and they were like, yeah, you're good. But then when I went down there, my credits they couldn't transfer over for some reason. So I'm like, I don't know if it's your guys' program or what, but... so anyways, that one semester at Macomb, total wash. All that money that I spent, like, on books and tuition of my own pocket.
He says all that money, the books cost as much as the damn classes.
No, facts. No, seriously. And I couldn't use it. So I'm like, what the heck?
That's terrible.
So, yeah, tell me about it. So, but yeah, no, like I said, but yeah, no, it ended up working out like.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like it did, but yeah, I mean.
But yeah, no, the program was like 2.5 years.
Okay.
So graduated with a bachelor's degree in filmmaking.
Wow,
absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Working on like, you know, film sets. I was working on commercials. There was like WWE there, so we can get jobs like doing WWE work for the wrestlers. And like, it was so funny about that is like, I don't know anything about wrestling, but all these wrestlers would come there, and like the kids would be like, you know, having their stuff get signed, and I'm like shoulder to shoulder with these stars, but I don't watch wrestling.
So you don't know who they are?
Yeah, I don't even know who they were.
Like, can I get one too?
Everyone's freaking out, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, you know,
Who's this guy?
Yeah, and I'm like running them like food and stuff, you know, like refreshments.
What
like,
years were you doing
that's a PA. Oh shoot, I was 2014.
There were some big names still wrestling, man.
Yeah. 2014, 2015, and then
because you had, you know, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. There were some, you know,
some
big names. John Cena. You know John Cena.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you'd know John Cena if you saw him.
Yeah. And what was so crazy too is like there would even be. I didn't think that I was ever gonna like meet like Rob Schneider, for instance. You know what I mean? But what was so funny is when I was a kid, I remember watching. I think it was like Animal or. I think it was Animal, and for some reason, this is me as a kid, and I literally was just sitting there on the couch watching, you know, this movie with like my family, and I told myself like I'm gonna meet him one day, and it just popped up.
Crazy.
And it popped up in my head, and I don't know why, but I said it out loud, and then boom, like fast forward college, you know what I mean? Here I am, like, you know, helping him with, you know, because like I said, he was shooting that show like Real Rob, and he came in and did like questions and, you know, Q&As and stuff like that. And I got a picture with him, and I was like, holy crap.
That's
like,
awesome.
Couldn't believe, because I remembered me saying it, and I'm like, this is so wild.
I'm so jealous you're standing next to all these wrestlers. You had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. No, none of them.
Did you get any pictures with them or anything?
No, because I didn't ever watch wrestling, so, you know what I mean? It was tough, but like...
But, you know, sometimes it's like, you see everybody going nuts over a guy, it's like, oh, let me get a picture with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, just
no, I never felt like that either. Yeah. And I didn't even feel like that either with... even meeting like some actors and stuff like that. Well, because when you're in the filmmaking industry, when you're working on as a crew, it's like it looks bad, I guess, to like go up to the people that you're working alongside with for a picture because you're on set with these people, you're working with them. So you know what I mean? It's kind of like unprofessional because you eventually want to get a job in the industry in New York or, you know, California or whatever, and you're not always gonna have time to ask them for a picture and stuff like that. So
I remember Thanksgiving Day game. I won tickets to the Lions game.
Okay.
The guy that plays, he was in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now. He's from Michigan. Oh my God, I can't even think of the character's name.
Oh man, I have friends that actually like worked on that show, but I don't know.
Well, he was sitting in front of us, and you know he got up to go, and I goes, hey, is this so and so?
Yeah.
Ken you own or something, whatever the heck his name is. I don't know his name. And they said, yeah, he's our cousin. You know, he's in town, wanted to come watch the game. So, all right, cool. You know, and we treated him just like an everyday fan.
Okay.
You know, we were high-fiving the whole game, saying good play, all this stuff. Second the game's over, he gets mobbed by all these other fans, where we treated him just like a person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
That's exactly what was happening with the WWE stars and everything.
Yeah, you're just treating him like a person, you know, not caring. So when you're on these sets, you know, you went to film school.
Yeah.
What would you do? What did anything you went to school for come into play, or were you just someone's assistant?
So there was so the way that like the college programs were set up, I mean, obviously you had like your prerequisites, so you had like your, you know, math, English, all that shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff that you had to take care of. So took care of all that, but then once you get later in the courses, you have like directing, there's like electric. So I mean, but it breaks down even more to like key grip and which is like everything. So like, you know, everything below a light. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then there's like Best Boy Electric and stuff like that, which only focuses on the lights.
We're gonna pause here a moment and let him fix my lighting.
Yeah, right. I'm about to fix. Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it on the couch. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed directing and being behind the camera. Like
Okay.
I loved being a camera operator or directing, and I actually was fortunate enough to do both because I mean, shoot, when you're in film school, everyone wants to do, you know, be a director or, you know, be a camera operator. Those are like the two main things.
Okay.
And luckily enough, I was, you know, able to, you know, shoot, you know, short films and stuff like that. But I mean, I was a director. You know what I mean? And I got the spot and. You know, next I have like a crew of like 35 people, you know what I mean?
All reporting to you.
Yeah, they're all reporting to me, and because again, it's my vision, you know what I mean? And like, that was so, like, I mean, holy crap. Like, that, I'm like, again, this is like full scale, you know, you would not think that so much work goes into a, you know, to a short film, but it does, you know what I mean? There's makeup, there's, you know, lighting, you know, there's a digital photographer, which, you know, writes, you know, a game plan out for like the lights and stuff like that. So, but I mean, as the director, I mean, I have to work with my DP and like, you know, trying to but like, you know, costumes and all that stuff. You know, trying to figure out everything, like how I want everything to look. And but yeah, so those are like my two favorite things. But yeah, I did short films in college. I was a camera operator for short films and stuff like that. But I mean, I was key grip on some projects. I was pretty much was like everything. And then when you work outside in like the college, you know, realm, I mean, you're a PA. I mean, you start at the bottom. So I mean,
personal
like,
assistant.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're running
whatever.
coffee. I mean, you know what I mean. You're on the walkie, like making sure people are not coming into the set when they're not supposed to. You know, because when they say
I've been
quiet on set. Yeah. Oh, have you?
I was at Harold and Kumar 3.
Get out of here!
When they filmed it at Somerset. So yeah, we were with one of the PAs. She was always on the walkie, telling our group when to walk through the mall as shoppers.
Yeah.
We
You
were
have to like stop
middle of the
them.
summer,
Yeah.
dressed in full winter clothes,
Oh my
carrying
gosh.
fucking Christmas packages.
That is freaking
That's my
hilarious.
experience on a movie set.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was crazy. You know, Pat and Oswald came back, talked to the extras, which that's where we were at. You know, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, catered lunch, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
the whole
But it
nine.
was just a crazy, probably nothing like you experienced. You know, my one experience compared to whatever the hell you did.
But it's so crazy, like how everything works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like how people report to people and how chain of command, you know, happens. But yeah, no, college was a great experience. But yeah, I graduated with bachelor's in filmmaking, and then I'm like very family oriented, and like a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, we're gonna go out to, you know, Atlanta, Georgia, and work on the Walking Dead and all these TV shows." And then some of them were going out to New York to work on Law and Order.
Wow.
I mean, there was friends that were going out to California and Los Angeles to work on like commercials and, you know, different movies out there. And, I mean, I had all these options, you know what I mean? And I'm over
so,
here
I mean, the
like
door was open for you to go places.
100%. I know all these people, so it's like I built these relationships, and like they're looking for roommates, so it's just like I just gotta, you know, say, hey, I'll go with you, and let's make it happen. And but instead, like I was extremely family oriented, and my grandma like wasn't doing that great. She like moved in with my family.
Okay.
And I was like, well. You know what I mean? I kind of part of me like that's true too. Like when I was living in Florida, like I wasn't going home like every month. You know what I mean? I didn't have the money to do that. So I was going home like twice a year and not even.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I was missing my family, but at the same time I was living my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
sword,
tough,
yeah.
man. It's tough. And then when you go home, like they're asking you like what have you been up to? And you're telling them all this stuff. And then when you go back to it, it's like you're loving what you're doing, but then you're thinking about family the entire time.
Yeah, I get it.
So So anyways, like I was like, you know what? Let me move back to Michigan. And so that's what I did. And when I did that, everything was going, great. I was like looking for different jobs. Like so, I got another gym job. You know what I mean? Working at LA Fitness or whatever. And I hated that place. Like, dude, I was a sales counselor, man. And like the managers were taking my like. I would like sign somebody up, and if they weren't gonna meet their quota, because I was just like the bottom line, they were transferring my deals that I was making which was my money. They were transferring it in their name because like if they came over, they would act like, oh, like I helped you close that deal, so it's mine. You know what I mean? But that don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then I transferred out from an LA Fitness to another LA Fitness, and the same thing was happening. Jesus. And I'm like, yo, you all are like. You know what I mean? Not good people. Like sales is like forget this. Yeah, that's the nicest way to put it. And but yeah, so I was moving from like job to job, but then I ended up getting a job at Planet Fitness. And then that honestly, because Josh Lamp, the person that we were talking about earlier,
cousin Josh.
Yeah, cousin Josh. He actually was working at Planet Fitness on 15 in Schneider, and I was like, you know what? Like, let me hit Josh up and see how he likes it. And he's like, yeah, like it's not too bad, And I think it was like a shift lead or something like that. He was like kind of management. So anyways, I started working at Planet Fitness with Josh, and then he quit, and he like you know what I mean, just jumped ship because he doesn't like to. I guess
he doesn't like to be at a job for more than 6 months.
Yeah, longer than 6 months. So anyways, I stuck it out, and but then I was noticing like the trainers and stuff like that, and also like fitness like interested me like long in like early days of like high school, things like that. So. Especially when I was living in Florida, I made so many friends with working at the gym and working out and learning so much that I was like, you know what, I can do this. And when I went back to Michigan, that's like why I went back into the fitness industry. And I was like, you know what, I love to like help people. I love helping them feel good about themselves, empowered and things like that. Like it's so crazy, like the emotion roller coaster that you go through with your clients working in the fitness industries, because like you're in there. You're going day in day out, like checking up on them, making sure that they're eating properly, and making sure they're putting themselves in a caloric deficit, or or a caloric surplus, or whatever their goals are. Trying to gain weight, lose weight, whatever. And but when they start to hit their goals, and like let's say for instance they're trying to lose weight, and they start to lose weight, and like. It gets almost like emotional, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them and for me, you know what I mean? Because
like you're doing a good
I'm
job
seeing their transformation, and it's like, but then they're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't have done it without you, and that's, you know what I mean? I really enjoyed that, And so like, but when I was working at Planet Fitness, like I was noticing the trainers, like they weren't really doing that great of a job, and like the people that they were seeing constantly, like really weren't getting results, and I'm like, you know what? Like, why don't I just get certified and work for Planet Fitness, it's like my foot in the door. So I went and got certified through National Council of Strength and Fitness, and then I actually got and when you're a trainer at Planet Fitness, like you're the only trainer in the gym. You know what I mean? Like you're the only, there's only one trainer at each Planet Fitness. So it's like all the classes and everything that's related about fitness and exercising, there's only one person for that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that like, you know what I mean? Like you're talking to this person and that person. But the funny thing is about Planet Fitness, which I don't really like, is that like their management tries to like sometimes tell the trainer like what they can and cannot do, but like they're not the certified personal trainer.
It's like how can they,
so and like that, and so that's
because they're the manager. That's why.
Exactly, and they think that they can just tell you what to do, but like they don't have any knowledge in the fitness industry. And shoot, like they don't, you know what I mean? It's funny because like people are like, hey, how do I use this machine? And if like I'm not there or whatever, if I'm clocked out, they just say, oh, just look at the, what it looks like in the picture. And I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? But these are the people that were trying to tell me how to do my job, And I'm like, this is tough.
Yeah, that would get a little annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, so I started working for Planet Fitness, and I actually got fired from Planet Fitness as a trainer. And that's just because like I wasn't getting along. Well, because the funny thing is that I was a great trainer. I am a great trainer. I love what I do. I'm very passionate. Like I love helping people, things like that. And so when you get a job as a trainer, you have to like shadow 2 trainers for 1 week. You know what I mean?
Okay.
1 week each. and then you get your own gym. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, this is your gym. You're the trainer. We're gonna put you here, and you have all the people that go to this gym. You're responsible for filling them in, helping them through, with knowledge and stuff like that, and about fitness, and which I thought was really cool. But what interesting thing is that when I was a trainer, like my classes were like full, like, you know what I mean? And then I started noticing that those other two trainers, like they were great trainers, but I started noticing that like if they took a day off or something like that, I was noticing that they were driving from their Planet Fitness gym to my location just to work with me. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I have something here. You know what I mean? Like, these people are driving, in this city or, wherever this gym is, and they're driving, an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes to my gym just to take one of my classes. And that's where, like, the whole pay scale is, because, like, dude, I was making, like, $12 an hour as a personal trainer. You know what I mean? And so I was making, like, $600 every 2 weeks. And, like, dude, $1,200 a month. I just got out of college, just moved back to Michigan. Like, I'm back in the same situation I was in when I was getting down there. You know what I mean? And I was broke for those few years. And I'm like, man, this isn't. I have like debt. You know what I mean? College tuition. Right. I gotta make student loans and stuff like that. And so you know what I mean? That's where like the conflicting thing was. But they didn't want to pay me more. And then, like, they didn't want to give me a raise, even though I was, like, training these people from other gyms, like, and stuff like that. And my classes were always full. I was hitting the quota, and they just didn't want to work with me. And so that's, like, honestly how I got fired. Well, they actually found a loophole to get rid of me because I was butting heads with, like, the manager and the regional manager because of the pay and stuff. And so a woman wanted to take my class. And I'm the type of person where it's, like, we don't necessarily have to do what the class says. You know what I mean? Because Planet Fitness has a block schedule. And so I was like, all right, well, if it's a one-on-one, if it's just you're the only person that signed up for the class, I'm going to, like, I'll work out with whatever. You want to do core, we'll go do core. If you want to go do a total body, workout, even though it says, 30-minute circuit on the sheet of paper, I'll still put you in for that time slot, but we'll go off and I'll work with you, whatever you want to work with. And so I had a class at the time. And it was so funny too, cause these coworkers did not like. I don't know what it was, but like they just didn't like the fact that I was a trainer and got to, you know what I mean, kind of like make my own, cause like when you're the personal trainer, like you're doing your, you're like sitting down, you're pretty much like free to do whatever you want. You don't have to clean, I just have to like lube the machines and stuff like that. But anyways, like they. Yeah, so they seen me put this girl in this other class, and she wanted to take a class, and I was like, well, I have people in this class. I can't, unfortunately, just go off and train you. I have to, actually do what's on the sheet of paper because I have people in this class. But I'll put you in the next class, and it'll be one-on-one because nobody signed up, and we'll train. And I was like, well, just go onto the elliptical, get your cardio done, and then we'll go train. She's like, that's perfect. Okay. And then, so she didn't complain at all. And then, so the shift leads or whatever like reported it to my manager, and then they told the regional manager, and that was like, oh, we have him. Like, I think that's honestly like they were like, hey, we can get him out of here because he technically denied somebody from a class, but I didn't because I still trained her. So anyways, I got fired. So they fired me. And,
good old loopholes.
Yeah, and they fired me, so I was like, well, okay, I'm a certified personal trainer, I just got fired, I wasn't receiving what my worth is as a person, and my skills and abilities, and I was like, you know what, let me start my own personal training business. So I was like, and trust me, that of itself was like, okay, how do I, do it, like, submit an LLC, you know what I mean? Like, how do I open up
what got me to reach out to you. I saw that you were posting stuff. You were starting your own gym.
Yeah.
Interesting transition from filmmaking passion to another passion of yours, which is fitness, which is great. You're still doing something that you love, that you enjoy.
And what's so great about it is like they go hand in hand. Like, fitness is like you have to promote yourself, and you still have to like use like mics and video equipment. You know, because you want to get it out there that hey, you're a trainer and you're showing these people different exercises, and you know what I mean. So it's almost like I honestly like everything that I've ever done. I have like tried to take something from it. Like even if jobs like that I started working like didn't like, I mean, I still was taking something from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, when I started my own LLC, I mean, luckily enough, I had met people, you know, good friends of mine who owned businesses, and he was like, yo, come on over to my office, you know, at where he works, and I'll help you, you know, navigate through setting up your own LLC and stuff.
Oh, very good.
And
very
so we did that, and then he was like, well, my mom works for Comerica Bank, you know, why don't we, you know, I'll send you over to her, and she'll get you set up with your business bank account. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So I'm like
awesome.
utilizing all my connections,
your
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
of people, and just, you know, getting this thing going.
But like we talked before
we
started recording, sometimes it's that face-to-face networking or who you know.
Exactly.
You know, it just takes that one person to help give you that nudge.
Exactly.
Or push you in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, and that's great.
And that's why I don't I'm not like too upset with Planet Fitness, because at the same time, if Planet Fitness didn't fire me the way it went down, I wouldn't have my business that I have now.
Now, how long ago were you let go from Planet Fitness?
I was let go on Valentine's Day of 2019.
Oh.
No, not 2019. I started my business in 2019. It was like 2018.
Okay.
I think it was 2018. I got fired from Planet Fitness in 2018. I think it was 2019. Yeah, no, because that's when I got fired. That's when I started my business. So yeah, it was the day of Valentine's Day in 2019 that I got fired, and then and that's the year that I opened up my own LLC, and dude, I absolutely love it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. When I started my own LLC business, it's not like, oh, you know, I didn't have a gym to work out at. I didn't know, but my clients at Planet Fitness wanted to stay with me. So
they wanted to work out with you because of the rapport you had and
exactly
your training
in the relationship.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, wherever you're going, we're gonna follow.
Okay.
And so I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, because they were calling me. You know what I mean? They were so upset. They were putting in complaints at the Planet Fitness saying, you know, why did you guys get rid of this awesome trainer? He was such a great guy. You know, I was losing weight, and like there were so many people that I helped that. I mean, I'm thankful that, you know, I was able to do something. I mean, I remember this one kid, not to go off on a tangent, but there was this one kid that, man, he was like 16 years old. Dude, this almost kind of made me cry in the moment. You know what I mean? I'm sitting down with him, and I got his parents and stuff like that, and I'm going through with, you know, what he's eating at home, and this kid, it's made fun of. He's huge. You know what I mean? He's 300 pounds. He's 16 years old. Wow. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the heck? We gotta do something here. You know what I mean? It's you know, diabetic, you know, diabetes, all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, we gotta fix this. So, I helped them I helped them get into the low 200s.
Wow.
Yeah, before I ended up leaving Planet Fitness. So yeah, but a lot of my clients, they were like, you know, we want to stay with you. So once I started my LLC and everything, I was like, well, I still need to get a job because I'm still broke and I still gotta make, you know, tuition payments.
Right.
So I'm like, well, let me. I was searching all over the place, and it was so funny because my mom, she's a manager at a printing company, so I was helping her on the side, and I was still trying to train clients, you know, and so there was a DHL truck that backed in and started unloading a bunch of, you know, stuff from DHL.
Oh, DHL.
And so I asked the driver, I go, how much do you guys make, you know, at DHL? And he goes, well, I make $26 an hour, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah.
I mean, they pay well.
Yeah,
I worked there myself.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
at the same location. But
yeah. So
DHL, they pay their people well.
And so I was like, okay. I was like, so then I went online, submitted my application, all that stuff, and then I went in, and when I sat down, I remember the managers. It was so funny. He's like, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't expect you to look the way you did because I came in a suit, you know, tie. I'm looking professional as heck.
Same thing at my interview with DHL too.
But this is you know, supply chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is dirty work. You know what I mean? So when I came in for my interview and I sat down, they were looking at my resume and everything. They're like, well, you went to college down in Florida. You have a bachelor's degree. You graduated with a 3.6 GPA. I mean, you know, what makes you want to, you know, jump on the line and run routes, you know, and pick car parts and, you know, put them on top hats and you know, ship them out to Chrysler. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I need a job and I need money.
You're honest.
Yeah. So anyways, they're like, all right, well, you know, no worries. You know, they did not expect me, you know, because I'm in shape and stuff like that. And they're just they didn't expect it. So anyways, but yeah, I put my time in there, and then so I I was like running these routes, man. Those routes are hard, man. Like picking boxes of screws, and you have to scan every single item, and then you have to do an audit, and like, you know what I mean? If you mess up on the audit, you have to go back to the manager, and they have to put their code in, and then you have to go back and scan there'd be hundreds of parts.
That's process. I mean, I worked on a different side of things at DHL. I was at the Livonia location, and I was in the office.
Okay.
I was a desk jockey.
Okay.
For a while, you know. And,
like a supervisor?
No, I was just a logistics planner. I was on the Boeing account, and we planned shipments coming from every part supplier for Boeing and shipping them to the United States so they could make their damn airplanes.
No way.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So,
yeah.
Different side of.
Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah. And I was working out in Mount Clemens, and I mean I was a little bit driving. I was still driving like a hoopty and everything. Like, dude, I was grinding still, and yeah. So I started working there. Whatever. I started noticing that these high-low drivers, you know what I mean? They just sit all day and they just drive around, and just pick stuff up, drop it down, but they don't do anything but sit in a chair. And I was like, I was like, when's the next high-low class starting up? So, dude, I put my name first one on the list. I was like, I'm gonna be a high-low driver. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
And like, I mean, the pay scale was like bumped up. I mean, I think we made like $2 more than the pickers, or $3 more. And so I took the class, dude. I didn't know anything about driving a high-low, but my dad worked in shipping and receiving. He was a manager for a company. Mm-hmm. So I was like, shoot, if my dad did it, I can do it. You know what I mean? No big deal. And so when I was taking the test driver, I never even sat on a high-low before. And like, man,
just want to sit down at work.
Yeah. But like the stuff, they give you a packet, and you have to like do this packet, and then you go and you take this test, and then they want like an actual practical of seeing how well you can drive this high-low.
Like a road test.
Yeah, and I've never sat on a dang high-low ever in my life, man. And like, I faked it so well. I mean, I pretty much like faked it to make it. You know what I mean? I was on the high-low, and I mean, people were in the class that didn't have a license or whatever. They were acting like, scared and nervous, and I was just on that thing whipping it, dude. I was throwing it up, throwing it down, throwing the thing up, because the whole thing in my head, I'm just like, man, honestly, it's like, if my dad can do this, like, no big deal, just drive it like you're driving a car, a little different, you know what I mean, but yeah, so anyways, that passed or whatever, and next thing you know, I got a high-low driver job, so I'm just driving around or whatever, but then the Detroit plant at DHL closed down, and then I got kicked, like, because all those people, because it's the union based, so it's based on seniority.
Yeah.
And so all those people, like, I mean, I think half of them stayed, but they came up to Mount Clemens out of Detroit, and so they took my job. So, yeah, so then I got bumped back down, so I was not making that great of money anymore, so I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, dude, and at this time, I'm still training people, you know what I mean? Yeah. I still have my business, but I was like, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what's so great is, like, I own my own business, so I charge my own rate, so I get my worth, but it's like, I put all this time and effort in for a company, but, I mean, unfortunate events, like, I still am not ever getting what I'm worth,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, like, I think being a business owner is, like, really, like, what I need to do and just focus on my business.
And it was after DHL, that's when you decided to go.
Yeah, I put my 2 weeks in. I didn't get fired from DHL. All right, so
right. Yeah, you left the respectable way.
Yeah, 100%. And they even asked me, like, hey, I know you're up in 2 weeks or whatever, but can you work one more week? Because like, again, COVID and all that stuff happened. Yeah. So like, and that was a damper in my business as well, because I'm like, I can't train my clients. You know what I mean? Everything's shut down.
Right.
And so so I started in 2019 with my business, started Colossus Fitness in 2019, and then 2020 happened. So, I mean, everything was shut down for the entire year.
So what'd you do as a personal trainer?
Oh man, I was
gung-ho 2019, and then
COVID. Yeah, man, I was like, dude, I was still like, doing FaceTimes, training people. Yeah, just training people like
trainers
virtually.
That do the same.
Dude, because it's like one of those
similar. They would go on Facebook Live and host a class.
Yeah, and it's like something that you have to do. It's honestly like, you have to all because a door, closes in your face. Like, you can't just take no for an answer. You have to just go after it, and just keep going. And so I'm like, well, this is my business, is what I want to do. So it's like I was still trying to find anything and everything that I can still do to like keep doing what I love to do.
Would you check in and call your clients?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, making sure they're staying up on their diet and everything. And so. So then in 2020 in December, I was working DHL, and I was still running routes after I got demoted, unfortunately because of the union base, because of the seniority. And so I was like, man, this ain't it for me. So I'm like, I need to go all in on my business, And so I did. And best decision I've ever.
And where
I've
are you
ever
at
done.
right now with your business?
So,
like I said, what got me to bring you on the show
Yeah.
is I saw you post something. You started your own business, which apparently you started almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Over 2 years ago.
Yeah, over. Yeah.
So where is your business at now? Do you have a facility?
So funny enough, I was training at like different gyms. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so like anything, I didn't end up working out. So I have all these clients, and I'm like, well, what the heck am I gonna do? You know? And like so many people in life, like, you know, like there's gonna be times where again, like a door's gonna shut in your face, you know, and everything's gonna come to a halt. But it's like you have to just overcome it. You know what I mean? You have to just, you know, figure out, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, I mean, this is my business. I have like, you know, I have 15, 16 clients, you know, that are relying on me to help them get them to where they want to be. And so I was like shut down for 2 weeks. And I mean, shoot, the next day I had to like approach my parents, and I was like, hey, like, guys, I need help, okay? This is the time where I'm going to come to you guys.
You couldn't send me to college.
Yeah, you guys couldn't. And I even put that, I slipped that in there too, you know what I mean? I was kind of like, you know, you guys didn't, you know, couldn't do anything for me for college, you know, let's,
you didn't even think I was going.
Yeah.
Until we got there.
Yeah. I was like, well, let me, you know what I mean? Let me just, is there any way that I can like use a garage? You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so what I did was, and so after talking to my parents or whatever, and they got the okay or whatever, so this is only temporary, you know what I mean? This is only just to get me through, and because next year I'm actually going to be looking for my first retail space.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but oh my gosh, man! Like, I mean, you just gotta once you start, honestly, it's, you know what I mean? Once you start like towards your dream, and you just take, you know, one step. Honestly, it's just that one step. It's like you're already halfway to, you know, towards your accomplishing your dream.
I mean, and
you know
it sounds like.
And so, like, dude, yeah, like
you've been fortunate enough through some trials and tribulations.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah, no,
you
literally.
You pursue some sort of career in film. Whether you don't pursue anymore because school's done.
Yeah.
But you gained great experience and knowledge from that, and now you're currently living your dream of fitness, and you have at least a core group of clients that are relying on you.
Exactly.
And hopefully branching out more and more. That's fantastic that you're still able to do that and live both the dreams that you wanted to and continue to live one right now. So your gym is currently in the garage.
Yeah, so it's in the garage, and I mean, like, holy crap!
I can vouch for this, listeners. He does have actual equipment.
Oh, 100%.
I've seen the
yeah,
pictures
no,
and
like, and that's the thing. It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, this happens. It's like, okay, I have to. Because I was using other people's gyms to train my clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, having to pay what they want. You know what I mean? And trying to like negotiate deals and stuff like that and make it work. But I mean, at the same time, like once that stops, I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to just open up my own gym. You know what I mean? So, and like, holy crap. I mean, I turned that garage into a gym. You know what I mean? Like,
I've seen the
I went and got mats and like, dude, I ordered Rogue equipment. I had all this stuff just chilling in my house, and I'm
you
like,
had like a picture of a stack of boxes of equipment that just showed up.
Yes.
Awesome.
And it was like, man, and it was so funny too, is it's like, man, I saved up so much money, and like, I was like, you know what, it's time to just invest and invest it into something that's an asset. You know what I mean? And like I said, so I just, you know, was ordering equipment, and I felt so happy too, because like, you know what I mean? It's like, I was a personal trainer working out of these people's gyms. I didn't have any say of what's in the gym. I was just training. Okay. I was just been training clients for what I have, you know, what's at my disposal. So like now being a personal, you know, trainer and owning my own gym, I had so much fun just looking at, you know, different websites and different fitness equipment suppliers, and just looking, okay, I want this, okay, I want this, you know what I mean? And then once it's all coming in, like, I'm like, man, this is absolutely amazing. I feel like I'm in, like, it's Christmas already, you know what I mean?
That's
I'm like
awesome.
opening up these boxes, and I'm putting all this stuff together, and but yeah, so right now it's been going great, honestly. Like, I absolutely wouldn't change it for anything. Like, I feel so comfortable. It's my own space. I get to train my clients and work with them, and it's so funny too. It's like, I still have clients from when I started training at Planet Fitness. They're still my clients, you know, right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's I wouldn't change anything for the, you know, wouldn't change it for the world.
That's great. So, what types of personal training programs do you offer? Or
yeah,
it,
so
I mean, you don't have to give price or anything, but
No,
I'm
no,
just curious what you offer.
Yeah,
because
and
I
mean,
assume.
and again, feel free to like, if you got like, again, message me anytime you guys want for personal.
Oh yeah,
training or
I'll post
like
all your contact information. I'll post
but
your
it's
social
just
media.
it just depends on like what they want. Like I said, it's all one-on-one personal training right now.
Okay, so you cater the classes
100%
to
exactly to the individual. You know what I mean? So if they want oh shoot, like
a more cardio based,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, exactly. If they're again trying to like lose weight, or they're trying they're an athlete or something like that. You know what I mean? I just kind of cater it to what their needs are. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's been great. So yeah, like I mean I do pretty much everything. You know what I mean?
I mean, and you got a great personality for
Thank
it. I mean,
you,
like you said, I've known you for a long time. You haven't changed.
Yeah.
You got a little bigger there, but in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing, man. It's like I've worked so hard too, and I mean, even going through life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I mean, shoot, like I didn't come from money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like one of those things where it's like I kept working hard, and then shoot, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year for my birthday in August, and my brother was like selling his car, so I bought it, and then it was kind of like a hoopty, and not a hoopty. It's a 2009. It's a 2009 Saturn, but
that truck in the driveway.
Yeah,
is a 2000, man.
Yeah, no, that's a 2020. You know what I'm saying? That's a 2020.
My truck.
Yeah,
my little truck. That is a 2000.
Yeah,
maybe 2001.
Yeah, but the thing is like, and so I wanted to spoil myself because I've been working so hard for all these years. You know what I mean? And haven't really gotten myself anything.
Not gonna lie. When you said you're coming, like he's gonna roll up in some little like
sedan
or something. See this truck stop outside my house. I was like, no.
Yeah, bright red. You're like,
pulls in the driveway. I'm like, this is freaking that is nice. My truck can fit inside yours.
I mean, everyone starts somewhere, you know what I mean? I should have rolled up with the Saturn.
My other car is a Mustang.
Okay, there we go.
Parked in front of the truck.
I do remember that. I do remember you driving a Mustang.
So I got my treat, too.
Yeah, that is true. But the funny thing is, like, once you get your treat, it's almost like, once you start driving after a while, it just turns out to be just another vehicle.
Thing,
yeah. So, like, the biggest thing that I've, like, learned in life so far is that, I mean, shoot, like, the biggest things that I've learned is I mean, going to Florida and college and again, not having money to go and do that, but I still made it happen. And then getting fired from a gym and trying to, start your own business. It's like one of those things where it's like everything that you go through in life is honestly like what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like everything that you push yourself towards, like your goals and accomplishing your goals, like that is so much, it's worth so much more than just a materialistic item like a truck. You know what I mean? Like, shoot, I drive that thing. I mean, yeah, it's nice and I love it and I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's like,
you'd be the same person without it.
You'd be the exact same person.
Totally
without it. And that's like, again, it's like one of those things where it's like if you whatever your goals are or whatever, like again, like invest in yourself. You know what I mean? Like take some money and I mean what you're doing with this podcast. You know what I mean? Like you this is a hobby of yours and something that you kind of always want to do, and like look where you are now. You have. I mean, shoot, we're on your podcast right now. You know what I mean?
Podcast right now.
Yeah,
I love it. Like you said, I'm pursuing something that I've always wanted to do. Much like you with going to college, you found a way to get there. You accomplished that dream. You gained experience there. Now you're pursuing the gym. Which please drop the name of your gym.
Colossus Fitness.
Colossus
LLC,
Fitness. I neglected to bring that up, but Colossus Fitness. By Jeffrey Mullins.
And my gym's in Warren, so
in
the state of Michigan. So if you guys in the area, where I plan, I mean I'm still looking for retail space for next year, but it'll still be like in the Macomb area.
Okay. And I'll be sure to list all your contact information. I'll put the name of your gym. I'll put your email address so people can get a hold of you. Should they want a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I can vouch for him. He's great.
Thank you so much.
Good dude. Again, it's Colossal.
No, Colossus Fitness.
Colossus
It was so funny, man. It's like when we were sitting in my friend's living room. And this is the guy that helped me, create the LLC.
Okay.
I mean, so he has like these things called like Meat Thursdays, right? And like, I mean, shoot, like, everyone's pretty much like almost a business owner, honestly, when you go there. I mean, you got doctors who own their own practices, you know what I mean? So we're all chilling.
Don't mind me.
We're all chilling in his living room.
So don't mispronounce it again.
And I'm just trying to come up with a name for my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, anyways, I'm like bringing it in front of everyone, and everyone's like throwing names out or whatever, and I'm throwing names out or whatever, and it was so funny because like it's Dr. Ruvain. He owns his own chiropractic practice.
Okay.
And he threw out Colossus. You know what I mean? And I was like, I like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, Colossus Fitness. And then boom, it was
just how it came.
Yeah, and it's just from there on. You know what I mean? And like the logo and everything like that. My neighbor, when I was growing up, he's actually he does digital. You know, he's a digital artist, and he's actually a client of mine. You know what I mean? Became a client of mine. I actually ended up running into him at the gym, and we were talking or whatever, and he started working with me. I started working with him, and he was like, hey, I noticed you don't have a logo. I was like, would you mind trading some sessions for a logo? And I'm like, absolutely. You know what I mean? So we negotiated and I
didn't design my logo.
That's the thing, man. It's like, again, like people that you come into contact with, like I mean, shoot, like you would not believe. And I feel like people come into your life like at the right time, almost. You know what I mean? Not all the time, but like. I mean, when you don't expect it, someone just pops up and it just helps you get to that next level. You know what I mean? And it's been great. You know what I mean? And like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world. And the thing is, like, I mean, shoot, when I was going through the pandemic in my business, like I said, everything was shut down. You know what I mean? And then it started getting very political with, hey, like, no gyms, like, shut down, can't run them, and then gyms were trying to be like, well, people still have to stay in shape and be healthy, so...
Yeah, it was a tough time for everybody.
Yeah, so then there was gyms operating even though they weren't supposed to, and so it was tough, but like I said, like, leaving my job at DHL and just buckling down and going, all in on my dream and of, owning my own gym.
Yeah. Well, I'll have some questions,
I'm here, man,
on a personal note after the podcast to pick your brain about. But Jeff, I can't thank you enough for coming into the soup can and letting me pick your brain and share your story. This has been a fun as hell interview, man.
It's been great, man. Like I said, I haven't seen you in forever, so man, this is great.
Blast from the past, coming in, sharing your stories from.
And congratulations on being, on your own podcast and having your own show. You know what I mean?
I'm trying something.
Yeah, no, this is awesome, man.
I'm doing something, and like we talked earlier, the set you see here, this is me.
Yeah.
You'll have to get me in the gym. Get me off my fat ass and do something.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Again, Jeff. I thank you so much. This has been a very lively and upbeat and great interview with you. Again, it's Colossus Fitness.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Mullins is the founder and CEO.
Yeah.
All your contact information I'll be sure to share and post in the comments when I post this episode. Again, thank you so much for coming into the Soup Can, and I'm your host, Campbell's. Have a great night. And thank you for listening to the Soup Can, where we ask the burning question, Soup No O.